In a world that moves faster every day, where instant gratification is the norm and frustration seems just a click away, patience has become one of the most undervalued yet essential virtues. Think about the last time you felt impatient, maybe stuck in traffic, waiting for a response, or scrolling endlessly for something to grab your attention. Now imagine a life where you could face these moments with calm, clarity, and resilience. This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, comes in. Stoicism teaches us not just how to endure life's challenges, but how to thrive in the face of them. Today, we'll explore 25 powerful Stoic quotes on patience that will inspire you to embrace life's delays, setbacks, and uncertainties with a mindset of strength and wisdom. Whether you're navigating a difficult season or simply seeking a more grounded approach to daily life, these timeless insights will guide you toward a deeper understanding of what it means to truly master patience. So let's dive in and discover how these ancient words can transform the way you face the modern world. Moving into our first Stoic insight, let's unpack the profound words, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." At its core, this quote encourages us to embrace the circumstances life presents, even when they are beyond our control. It's a reminder that patience begins with acceptance, not resignation, but a calm acknowledgement of reality. Think about a time when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you missed a deadline, faced an unexpected delay, or encountered a situation that felt unfair. The Stoic approach here isn't to fight against these moments, but to recognize them as part of life's natural flow. For instance, imagine being stuck in traffic. Instead of letting frustration take over, you could use that time to breathe deeply, listen to a podcast, or simply reflect on your day. By accepting the situation, you transform what could be a source of stress into an opportunity for mindfulness. This quote teaches us that patience isn't about waiting passively. It's about finding peace in the present moment, even when it's not what we expected. It's a powerful tool for navigating life's unpredictability with grace and resilience. Now, let's turn our attention to the next timeless Stoic wisdom. No person has the power to have everything they want. This quote cuts to the heart of Stoic philosophy, reminding us that desire, when left unchecked, can be a source of endless frustration. The Stoics believed that true peace comes not from fulfilling every want, but from understanding and accepting our limitations. Think about it. How often do we chase after things, material possessions, recognition, or even certain outcomes, only to find that they don't bring the lasting satisfaction we hoped for? The Stoic perspective invites us to shift our focus. It's not about denying our desires, but about recognizing that many of them are outside our control. For example, imagine you're working toward a promotion at work. You've put in the effort, but the decision ultimately lies with someone else. Instead of fixating on the outcome, which you can't control, you can focus on doing your best with what is within your power, your attitude, your work ethic, and your willingness to learn. By embracing this mindset, you cultivate patience. You learn to let go of the need for instant gratification and find contentment in the process itself. This quote teaches us that limitations aren't barriers to happiness, they're opportunities to grow, to practice patience, and to discover what truly matters. It's a reminder that fulfillment isn't found in having everything, but in appreciating what we already have. Moving forward, let's delve into another profound Stoic insight. The more we value things outside our control, the less power we have over our own lives. This quote serves as a powerful reminder of where our attention should truly lie. Imagine this: you're at the mercy of a delayed flight, stuck in an airport with no clear departure time. You could let frustration take over, pacing back and forth, or you could take a step back and ask yourself, what can I actually control here? The Stoics would argue that your focus should be on your response, how you choose to spend the waiting time, how you manage your emotions, and how you prepare for the next steps. By valuing what's within your control, like your attitude and actions, you regain a sense of agency, even in the midst of uncertainty. This approach doesn't just apply to travel delays, it's relevant to so many aspects of life. Consider a job search, for instance. You can't control whether an employer calls you back, but you can control how you tailor your resume, how you prepare for interviews, and how you present yourself. Patience in this context isn't passive waiting, it's an active practice of directing your energy toward what you can influence. This quote challenges us to rethink our priorities. When we stop placing excessive value on outcomes we can't dictate, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and disappointment. Instead, we cultivate patience by focusing on the present moment and the actions we can take. It's a call to let go of the illusion of control over external events and to channel our efforts into what truly matters: our mindset, our choices, and our growth. This shift in focus not only builds patience but also empowers us to navigate life's uncertainties with greater resilience and peace of mind. Now, let's turn our attention to another timeless Stoic teaching. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This quote offers a profound shift in perspective, one that emphasizes the role of our own judgments in shaping our emotional experiences. Think about it. When something outside of us causes distress, it's not the event itself that's the problem, but rather how we interpret it. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic, feeling frustrated and impatient. The traffic isn't what's causing your stress, it's your reaction to it, your belief that this delay is unfair or inconvenient. The Stoics remind us that we have the power to change our perspective, to see the situation differently. Instead of viewing traffic as a waste of time, you could use it as an opportunity to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply enjoy a moment of stillness. This is where patience comes into play. It's not about ignoring or suppressing emotions. It's about understanding that your peace of mind doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's about recognizing that you have the ability to reframe your thoughts and choose how you respond. This concept extends far beyond traffic jams. Consider a disagreement with a friend or colleague. You might feel hurt or upset by their words, but the Stoics would encourage you to pause and ask yourself, is this really about what they said or about how I'm interpreting it? By taking a step back, you can approach the situation with patience and clarity rather than reacting impulsively. This quote invites us to reclaim control over our inner world. It's a call to practice patience not just with external events but with ourselves, to give ourselves the space to reassess our reactions and choose a more balanced, thoughtful response. When we do this, we cultivate a deeper sense of internal peace, one that isn't easily shaken by the ups and downs of life. This isn't always easy, of course. It takes practice and self-awareness, but the reward is immense: the ability to remain calm, patient, and centered, even in the face of challenges. Moving forward, let's explore another powerful Stoic insight: he who is brave is also patient. This quote beautifully ties together two virtues that might seem unrelated at first glance: courage and patience. At its core, it suggests that true bravery isn't just about facing danger or taking bold action. It's also about enduring challenges with calm and perseverance. Think about it this way: courage often requires us to stand firm in the face of adversity, but it's patience that allows us to stay steady when the path forward is uncertain or difficult. Together, these qualities form a foundation for resilience. Consider the example of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison fighting against apartheid. His courage was evident in his unwavering commitment to justice, but it was his patience, his ability to endure years of hardship without losing hope, that ultimately made his victory possible. Or take the modern-day entrepreneur who faces countless setbacks while building a business. It takes courage to take risks and pursue a vision, but it's patience that sustains them through the inevitable challenges and delays. This quote invites us to see patience not as a passive trait but as an active form of bravery. It's about choosing to stay the course even when the journey is long and the outcome is unclear. In our own lives, this might look like persisting through a difficult project at work, patiently supporting a loved one through a tough time, or even staying committed to a personal goal despite setbacks. The connection between courage and patience reminds us that enduring challenges with grace is just as heroic as taking bold action. It's a call to cultivate both virtues, recognizing that they work hand in hand to help us navigate life's uncertainties with strength and resilience. Now let's turn to another thought-provoking Stoic saying, "Patience is the art of concealing your impatience." At first, this might sound almost contradictory, but when you dig deeper, it reveals a profound truth about human nature and self-control. This quote isn't just about waiting quietly. It's about mastering your internal reactions, even when you feel frustrated or restless. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. And often, the challenge isn't just to wait, but to wait without letting our impatience show, or even take hold. Think about the last time you were stuck in a long line or faced a delay. The frustration might have been bubbling inside, but outwardly, you likely tried to stay calm. That's the art this quote speaks to. It's about recognizing impatience as a natural emotion, but choosing not to let it dictate your behavior. The Stoics believed that by practicing this kind of self-discipline, we not only maintain our composure, but also gain a deeper sense of inner peace. In practical terms, this could mean taking a deep breath when you're stuck in traffic, staying polite when dealing with a slow customer service agent, or calmly addressing a colleague who's running late. These small acts of concealing impatience might seem minor, but they add up over time, helping us build resilience and emotional strength. This quote also reminds us that patience isn't about suppressing emotions entirely, but about managing them wisely. It's about acknowledging your feelings without letting them control you. In a world where instant gratification is often the norm, this Stoic approach offers a powerful counterbalance, teaching us that true patience isn't just about waiting, but about waiting with grace. By mastering this art, we not only handle life's delays and frustrations more effectively, but also cultivate a mindset that prioritizes long-term calm over short-term reactions. It's a skill that, when practiced consistently, can transform how we navigate both the big challenges and the everyday inconveniences of life. Now, let's explore a timeless Stoic reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This quote is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing the importance of self-discipline and mental control in cultivating patience. It reminds us that while we can't always influence what happens around us, we have complete authority over how we perceive and react to those events. Think about it. When frustration arises from a delayed project or a difficult conversation, it's not the situation itself that causes stress, but rather our interpretation of it. This quote challenges us to shift our focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to mastering our internal responses. It's about recognizing that patience isn't just a passive act of waiting, but an active practice of mental fortitude. By training our minds to remain calm and composed, even in the face of uncertainty or setbacks, we build resilience and reduce unnecessary stress. This isn't about ignoring emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing how much power we give to those emotions. For example, when faced with criticism, instead of reacting defensively, we can pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This approach not only fosters patience, but also helps us navigate challenges with greater clarity and purpose. The Stoics believed that this mental control is the key to enduring life's ups and downs with grace. It's a reminder that true patience comes from within, and by strengthening our minds, we can face any situation with confidence and calm. This practice of self-discipline isn't always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. Over time, it transforms how we experience the world, turning moments of frustration into opportunities for growth and self-reflection. Ultimately, this quote invites us to reclaim our power not over external events but over our own minds, and in doing so, discover a deeper sense of patience and peace. Building on the idea of mental control, let's consider another profound Stoic insight. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. This quote shifts the focus from external retaliation to internal transformation, emphasizing the power of patience in handling conflict. When someone wrongs us, the immediate impulse might be to react with anger or seek retribution. But the Stoics challenge us to rise above that instinct. Instead of mirroring the behavior that hurt us, they encourage us to respond with integrity and calm. This is where patience becomes essential. It allows us to pause, reflect, and choose a path that aligns with our values rather than our emotions. For instance, if a colleague undermines you at work, the easy route might be to lash out or plot revenge. Yet the Stoic approach would be to remain composed, focus on your own actions, and demonstrate professionalism. By doing so, you not only maintain your peace of mind but also rob the injustice of its power over you. This isn't about letting others off the hook, it's about refusing to let their actions dictate your character. Patience, in this context, becomes a shield protecting you from the chaos of reactive behavior and guiding you toward a more thoughtful response. It's a reminder that true strength lies not in matching negativity with more negativity, but in rising above it with grace and self-control. Over time, this practice not only fosters personal growth, but also sets a standard for how you navigate relationships and conflicts. The Stoics believed that by embodying virtue in the face of adversity, we not only improve ourselves but also inspire those around us. So, the next time you're confronted with an injustice, remember, the most powerful response is to remain patient, act with integrity, and let your actions speak louder than any words of retaliation. This is how patience transforms conflict into an opportunity for moral victory and lasting peace. Now, let's turn our attention to another timeless Stoic lesson. Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. This quote cuts straight to the heart of patience by shifting the focus from endless debate to meaningful action. Often, we get caught up in discussions about what it means to be virtuous or how others should behave. But the Stoics remind us that patience isn't about waiting for others to change. It's about taking responsibility for our own actions. Instead of judging or criticizing, this quote urges us to embody the qualities we admire. Think about it. How much time do we spend analyzing what's right or wrong in others while neglecting our own growth? The Stoic approach here is both practical and transformative. By focusing on our own behavior, we free ourselves from the frustration of trying to control others. For example, if you're in a team setting and find yourself frustrated by someone's lack of effort, the Stoic response isn't to lecture or complain. Instead, it's to lead by example, show patience, work diligently, and let your actions inspire change. This doesn't mean ignoring problems, but rather addressing them through your own conduct rather than words alone. Patience, in this context, becomes a tool for self-mastery. It allows us to redirect our energy from external judgments to internal improvements. Over time, this practice not only fosters personal resilience but also creates a ripple effect, influencing those around us in subtle but powerful ways. So, the next time you're tempted to debate or judge, pause and ask yourself, what can I do right now to embody the change I wish to see? This is how patience, rooted in action, becomes a force for growth and transformation. Moving forward, let's explore a powerful insight from Stoic philosophy. The impediment to action advances action. At first glance, this might seem contradictory. How can obstacles actually propel us forward? Yet, this quote reveals a profound truth about patience and perseverance. The Stoics believed that challenges aren't roadblocks but opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. When we face obstacles, it's easy to feel frustrated or discouraged, but this perspective invites us to see them as stepping stones instead. Think about it. Every difficulty we encounter forces us to pause, reflect, and adapt. This process demands patience, but it also sharpens our ability to navigate life's complexities. For example, imagine you're working on a project and suddenly hit a major setback. Instead of letting impatience take over, the Stoic approach would be to view this as a chance to reassess your strategy and refine your skills. Over time, these moments of resistance build not just perseverance but also a deeper understanding of what it takes to succeed. This principle applies to personal goals as well. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving a relationship, or overcoming a personal struggle, obstacles teach us to move forward with intention rather than haste. By embracing challenges as part of the journey, we cultivate patience and develop a mindset that sees every setback as a setup for growth. So, the next time you encounter an impediment, ask yourself, how can this obstacle advance my progress? This shift in perspective turns adversity into an ally, proving that patience isn't just about waiting, it's about transforming challenges into catalysts for action. Now let's turn our attention to another profound Stoic insight. No great thing is created suddenly. This quote reminds us that greatness, whether in our personal lives, careers, or creative pursuits, isn't the result of a single moment of triumph, but the culmination of sustained effort and patience. Think about the most remarkable achievements in history. The pyramids of Egypt, the works of Michelangelo, or even the scientific breakthroughs of figures like Marie Curie. None of these were accomplished overnight. They required years, even decades of dedication, trial, and error. The Stoics understood that patience is the bridge between ambition and achievement. It's about embracing the process, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Consider the journey of learning a new language or mastering a musical instrument. At first, the results may seem insignificant, but over time, consistent practice builds a foundation of skill that leads to mastery. This principle applies just as powerfully to personal growth. Healing from a loss, building a strong relationship, or developing self-discipline, all of these require patience and trust in the process. The Stoics teach us to focus not on the immediacy of results but on the value of the journey itself. By doing so, we learn to appreciate the small steps that lead to profound transformations. Patience, in this sense, isn't passive waiting, it's active persistence. It's the willingness to keep moving forward even when the destination feels far away. So, the next time you feel discouraged by the pace of your progress, remember this Stoic truth. Greatness is a slow and steady climb, and every step you take is bringing you closer to the summit. Shifting our focus to the next Stoic insight, let's explore the quote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind." At first glance, challenges may seem like obstacles standing in the way of our goals, but the Stoics saw them as opportunities for growth. They believed that facing adversity isn't about enduring hardship for its own sake. It's about using those moments to develop patience, resilience, and mental toughness. Think about a tree that grows in a windy environment. Over time, the constant pressure of the wind forces its roots to dig deeper and its trunk to grow stronger. Without those challenges, the tree would remain fragile and weak. Similarly, the Stoics taught that difficulties are the wind that shapes and strengthens our minds. When we encounter setbacks, whether it's a failed project, a personal loss, or an unexpected obstacle, we have a choice. We can either let frustration take over or use the experience as a teacher. Patience in this context is about staying grounded and learning from the struggle. It's about understanding that every challenge is a chance to refine our character and deepen our resilience. Consider the example of an athlete training for a marathon. The long hours, the physical pain, and the mental fatigue all seem like barriers, but each one is building the endurance needed to cross the finish line. The Stoics remind us that patience isn't just about waiting for things to get easier. It's about embracing the process of becoming stronger through the difficulties we face. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, remember this Stoic wisdom. Challenges aren't here to break you, they're here to build you. By approaching them with patience and a growth mindset, you'll emerge not just unscathed but stronger and more resilient than ever. Building on the idea of finding strength in challenges, let's turn our attention to another profound Stoic teaching. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This quote invites us to reflect on the nature of desire and how it shapes our sense of fulfillment. At its core, Stoicism isn't about rejecting material possessions or living ascetically. It's about understanding that true contentment comes from within. When we focus on what we lack, we create a sense of scarcity that fuels impatience and dissatisfaction. But when we shift our focus to what we already have, our values, our character, our ability to grow, we cultivate a sense of abundance that fosters patience and peace. Think about how often we measure our happiness by external markers like wealth, status, or possessions. The Stoics remind us that these things are fleeting and ultimately outside our control. What we can control is our mindset and how we choose to respond to life's circumstances. Patience, in this context, is about releasing the constant need for more and finding satisfaction in the present moment. It's about recognizing that the pursuit of external validation or material gain often leads to restlessness, while inner contentment brings a sense of calm and stability. Consider the example of someone who constantly chases the next promotion or the latest gadget. No matter how much they achieve, the cycle of desire continues, leaving them perpetually unsatisfied. In contrast, someone who focuses on cultivating gratitude and self-awareness finds joy in the simple, unchanging aspects of life. This shift in perspective is what the Stoics encourage, a move away from the endless pursuit of more and toward a deeper appreciation of what's already here. By practicing this mindset, we develop the patience to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that true wealth lies not in what we own but in who we are. So, the next time you feel the pull of wanting more, pause and remind yourself, patience grows when we learn to see the abundance in our inner world rather than the scarcity in the external one. Now, let's explore how patience transforms obstacles into stepping stones with the Stoic quote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful statement, often attributed to Marcus Aurelius, teaches us that challenges aren't roadblocks but opportunities for growth. At first glance, obstacles can feel like setbacks, but the Stoic perspective invites us to see them as invitations to develop resilience, creativity, and patience. When something stands in our way, it's not there to stop us, it's there to shape us. Think about a time when you faced a difficult situation. Perhaps it was a project that didn't go as planned or a personal goal that seemed out of reach. In those moments, it's easy to feel frustrated or even defeated. But what if, instead of resisting the obstacle, we embraced it as part of the journey? Patience allows us to pause, reflect, and ask, how can this challenge teach me something new? How can it make me stronger? Take, for example, the story of a student struggling to master a complex subject. Each mistake feels like a failure, but every error is also a lesson. With patience, the student begins to see these struggles not as proof of inability, but as opportunities to deepen understanding. In this way, the obstacle, the difficulty of the subject, becomes the very thing that drives growth. This Stoic principle also applies to everyday life. When we encounter delays, setbacks, or unexpected problems, patience helps us shift our mindset from frustration to curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" By reframing obstacles as opportunities, we not only navigate challenges with greater ease, but also cultivate a sense of purpose and progress. So, the next time you face a hurdle, remember that patience is the key to unlocking its hidden potential. What stands in the way isn't a barrier, it's the path forward. Now, let's consider how patience plays a role in the company we keep with the Stoic quote. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you. This wisdom reminds us that the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our mindset, our progress, and even our ability to remain patient. Relationships can either fuel our growth or drain our energy, and the choice of who we spend our time with is one of the most important decisions we make. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of maintaining connections out of habit or obligation, even when they no longer serve us. But Stoicism encourages us to be intentional about our associations. When we choose to surround ourselves with those who inspire, encourage, and challenge us in positive ways, we create an environment that nurtures patience and growth. Think about it. When you're with someone who constantly complains or focuses on the negative, it's hard to maintain a patient and optimistic outlook. On the other hand, being around people who radiate positivity and resilience can help us stay calm and focused, even in the face of adversity. Patience here isn't just about enduring difficult people, it's about having the foresight to recognize which relationships are worth investing in and which are better left behind. This doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly, but rather approaching these decisions with thoughtfulness and care. For instance, imagine you're working on a personal goal, like starting a new business or improving your health. Surrounding yourself with supportive friends who cheer you on and offer constructive advice can make all the difference. Their encouragement helps you stay patient with the process, even when progress feels slow. Conversely, spending time with those who doubt your abilities or criticize your efforts can undermine your confidence and test your patience. The Stoic approach reminds us that patience isn't just about waiting, it's about making deliberate choices that align with our values and aspirations. So, as you reflect on your own relationships, ask yourself, who uplifts you, who encourages you to be your best self, and how can you cultivate more of those connections in your life? By choosing the right company, you not only build a stronger foundation for patience, but also create a community that supports your journey toward growth and fulfillment. Let this quote be a reminder to invest your time and energy wisely, because the people you surround yourself with can either lift you up or hold you back. Turning our attention inward, we now explore the Stoic quote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." This profound statement invites us to reflect on the importance of self-awareness and how it fosters both patience and inner peace. At its core, this quote emphasizes the need to align our thoughts, actions, and values with who we truly are. When we are in tune with ourselves, we naturally cultivate a sense of calm and patience, even when external circumstances are chaotic. Think of it this way: when you're clear about your priorities and grounded in your principles, you're less likely to be thrown off course by distractions or setbacks. Self-awareness allows us to recognize our triggers, understand our reactions, and respond to challenges with composure rather than impulsivity. For example, if you're feeling frustrated because things aren't going as planned, pausing to reflect on why you're feeling this way and what you can control can help you regain your patience. This practice of self-reflection is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, reminding us that inner peace isn't about avoiding difficulties but about facing them with a balanced mind. Living in harmony with ourselves also means accepting our imperfections and embracing growth. Patience here isn't about waiting passively. It's about giving ourselves the time and space to evolve. Consider someone working on breaking a bad habit like procrastination or negative self-talk. It takes patience to recognize patterns, make gradual changes, and celebrate small victories along the way. This journey of self-improvement requires both self-awareness and patience, as progress often comes in waves rather than straight lines. When we extend this patience to ourselves, we create a foundation of inner peace that radiates outward, influencing how we interact with the world. Ultimately, this quote reminds us that true harmony begins within. By nurturing self-awareness and practicing patience, we not only find inner peace but also align ourselves with the greater flow of life. Take a moment to reflect. Are you living in harmony with yourself? What steps can you take today to deepen that connection and cultivate the patience needed to thrive in every aspect of your life? Moving forward, we now delve into the Stoic wisdom encapsulated in the quote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This powerful statement highlights the profound impact our thoughts have on our inner state and overall well-being. At its heart, this quote teaches us that our mindset, shaped by the thoughts we nurture, directly influences our emotional landscape. When we cultivate patient thoughts, we gradually dye our soul with calmness and resilience. Think of your mind as a canvas. Every thought is a brushstroke that adds color to your inner world. If you fill it with impatience, frustration, or restlessness, the picture becomes chaotic. But when you choose to paint with patience, the result is a tranquil and composed masterpiece. This idea aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy, which encourages us to take control of our thoughts and focus on what we can influence. For instance, when faced with a delay or setback, instead of allowing frustration to take over, we can choose to reframe the situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this time productively? By shifting your perspective, you replace agitation with patience, allowing your soul to be dyed with a calmer hue. This practice isn't about suppressing emotions, but about consciously choosing thoughts that serve your peace of mind. Over time, cultivating patient thoughts becomes a habit, and this habit transforms your overall mindset. Consider the example of someone stuck in traffic. They could choose to fume and stress, or they could use the time to listen to an inspiring podcast or simply reflect on their day. The external situation remains the same, but the internal experience changes dramatically. This quote reminds us that patience isn't just a virtue, it's a practice that shapes who we are. By intentionally coloring our thoughts with patience, we create a soul that is steady, resilient, and at peace no matter the circumstances. Reflect on this. What color are your thoughts dyeing your soul? How can you cultivate more patient thoughts to bring greater calm into your life? Now, let's explore another profound Stoic insight. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength. This quote speaks to the transformative power of patience in the face of adversity. It suggests that while we can't always control the challenges life throws our way, we can control how we respond to them. When we approach difficulties with a calm and patient mindset, we strip away the power that misfortune holds over us. Think of patience as a shield. It doesn't prevent the arrows of adversity from coming our way, but it softens their impact. The Stoics believed that our perception of hardship often amplifies its effect. By choosing patience, we reframe the situation, reducing its emotional weight and preventing it from overwhelming us. Take, for example, a setback at work. Losing a major project might initially feel devastating, but with patience, we can view it as an opportunity to reassess, learn, and grow. This shift in perspective doesn't change the event itself, but it changes how we experience it. Patience allows us to navigate challenges with clarity and composure, making us less reactive and more resilient. It's not about ignoring the difficulty or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about facing it head-on with a steady mind. Consider Marcus Aurelius, who led the Roman Empire during times of war and turmoil. His ability to remain patient and composed in the face of immense pressure not only helped him endure but also made him a more effective leader. This is the essence of Stoic patience. It doesn't eliminate adversity, but it diminishes its hold on us. By practicing patience, we train ourselves to see trials as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to happiness. Reflect on this. How might a calmer, more patient approach to your current challenges change the way they affect you? How can you begin to see adversity not as a force to be feared, but as a teacher to be embraced? Turning our attention to the next insight, let's reflect on the Stoic saying, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." This quote reminds us that challenges are not just obstacles but opportunities for growth and triumph. Patience plays a crucial role here as it allows us to endure and persist through hardships, transforming them into milestones of success. Think of patience as the bridge between struggle and achievement. It's what keeps us steady when the path is steep and uncertain. For instance, consider someone pursuing a long-term goal, like learning a new skill or building a business. The journey is rarely smooth, but each setback, when met with patience, becomes a stepping stone toward mastery. The Stoics believed that the value of success lies not in the ease of the journey, but in the effort and perseverance it requires. By embracing patience, we shift our focus from the discomfort of the moment to the satisfaction of eventual triumph. This mindset doesn't just help us overcome challenges, it also deepens our appreciation for the victories we earn. A modern example could be an athlete training for the Olympics. The years of rigorous practice, injuries, and setbacks are immense, but the patience to endure them ultimately leads to the glory of competing at the highest level. Similarly, in our daily lives, whether it's navigating a tough project at work or mending a strained relationship, patience allows us to see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. This Stoic perspective teaches us that the most rewarding achievements often come from the hardest struggles. When we face difficulties with patience, we not only overcome them but also emerge with a sense of pride and accomplishment. So, as you encounter challenges, ask yourself, how can patience transform this difficulty into a moment of glory? How can your persistence today lead to a brighter, more fulfilling tomorrow? Shifting our focus, let's delve into the profound Stoic wisdom. No one can lose what they have already given away. This quote invites us to reflect on the power of detachment and its intimate connection to patience. In Stoic philosophy, detachment doesn't mean indifference. Rather, it's about freeing ourselves from the grip of external possessions, outcomes, or opinions. When we let go of what we cannot control, we cultivate patience as we're no longer anxiously clinging to things that are ultimately beyond our grasp. Think of it this way: if you've already mentally and emotionally released something, whether it's a material possession, a desired result, or even someone's opinion of you, it can no longer disturb your peace. For example, imagine someone who loses their job. If they've embraced the Stoic practice of detachment, they can approach this setback with patience, understanding that their worth isn't tied to their role or title. Instead of reacting with frustration or despair, they can patiently focus on what they can control, their efforts to find new opportunities or develop new skills. This mindset not only reduces stress but also opens the door to growth. Similarly, in relationships, detachment allows us to approach conflicts with patience. If we've already let go of the need to control how others act or think, we can respond to disagreements with calmness and understanding rather than anger or resentment. The Stoics teach us that by practicing detachment, we build resilience and patience, enabling us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. So, the next time you feel attached to an outcome or possession, ask yourself, what can I let go of to cultivate patience? How might detachment help me face challenges with a clearer, more peaceful mind? This Stoic insight reminds us that true freedom lies in releasing what we cannot control and embracing patience as a guiding principle in our lives. Now, turning our attention to another timeless Stoic insight, consider the words, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants." This quote offers a profound perspective on the nature of true wealth and its connection to patience. In a world often driven by the pursuit of material success, this Stoic teaching invites us to redefine what it means to be wealthy. True wealth, according to the Stoics, isn't about accumulating more, it's about wanting less. When we shift our focus from external possessions to inner contentment, we naturally cultivate patience. Think about it, the less we feel the need to acquire or achieve to feel fulfilled, the less we're consumed by impatience or frustration when things don't go our way. For instance, imagine someone who constantly chases the latest gadgets, cars, or status symbols. Each new acquisition brings only temporary satisfaction, and the cycle of desire continues, often leading to stress and impatience. In contrast, someone who finds contentment in simple, meaningful experiences like spending time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or enjoying nature, is less likely to be thrown off balance by life's uncertainties. This inner wealth, rooted in gratitude and minimalism, fosters a deep sense of patience. It allows us to approach challenges with calmness, knowing that our happiness isn't tied to external circumstances. The Stoics remind us that by valuing inner wealth qualities like wisdom, virtue, and peace of mind, we free ourselves from the relentless chase for more. This shift in perspective not only reduces stress but also helps us appreciate the present moment, cultivating patience as we navigate life's ups and downs. So, the next time you find yourself longing for something outside your control, ask yourself, what do I truly need to feel content? How can I focus on the inner wealth I already possess? This Stoic wisdom challenges us to rethink our priorities and embrace patience as a pathway to a richer, more fulfilling life. Now, let's explore how patience serves as a powerful tool for managing anger and making better decisions. The Stoic quote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay," reveals a simple yet transformative truth about our emotions. Anger often arises in moments of impulsivity when we react without thinking. It's a raw, instinctive response that can cloud our judgment and lead to regrettable actions. But the Stoics offer a practical solution: pause. By introducing a deliberate delay before reacting, we create space for clarity and reason to take over. Picture a heated argument where harsh words are exchanged in the heat of the moment. If both parties step back, even for a few moments, the intensity of the anger begins to subside. This delay allows us to process the situation more calmly and respond with thoughtfulness rather than rage. Patience, in this context, becomes a shield against the destructive force of anger. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about channeling them constructively. For example, imagine receiving criticism at work. Your initial reaction might be defensiveness or frustration. But if you take a moment to breathe and reflect, you can approach the feedback with a mindset of growth rather than resentment. This practice of patience not only diffuses anger but also enhances decision-making. When we act from a place of calm, we're more likely to consider the long-term consequences of our actions and make choices aligned with our values. The Stoics remind us that anger is often a temporary emotion, but its effects can be lasting. By cultivating patience, we protect ourselves from the fallout of impulsive reactions and foster healthier relationships with others and ourselves. So, the next time you feel anger rising, remember the Stoic remedy: delay. Give yourself the gift of time and let patience guide you toward wiser, more measured responses. This simple yet profound practice can transform how we navigate conflict and lead to more thoughtful, intentional living. Moving forward, let's consider how patience plays a crucial role in how we listen and interpret the world around us. The Stoic quote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact," offers a powerful reminder about the nature of information and our reactions to it. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded with messages, viewpoints, and claims, often presented as absolute truths. But the Stoics urge us to pause and remember that what we hear is rarely the full story. It's filtered through the perspectives, biases, and experiences of others. This insight invites us to approach listening with patience and humility. Instead of immediately accepting or rejecting what we hear, we can take a step back and reflect. For instance, imagine a coworker shares a critical opinion about a project you've worked on. Your first instinct might be to feel defensive or dismissive. But if you apply Stoic patience, you can pause and consider why they might hold that view. Is there a valid perspective you're missing? Could this feedback, even if harsh, help you improve? Patience in listening allows us to sift through opinions and separate what's useful from what's not. It also helps us avoid hasty judgments that can lead to misunderstandings or conflict. Think about how often disagreements escalate because people react to opinions as if they're facts. By practicing patience, we can engage in more thoughtful conversations, ask clarifying questions, and seek common ground. This doesn't mean we have to agree with every opinion we hear. Rather, it's about giving ourselves the time and space to process information thoughtfully and respond with intention. The Stoics teach us that patience in listening cultivates wisdom, strengthens relationships, and fosters a deeper understanding of the world. So, the next time you encounter a strong opinion, take a moment to remind yourself it's not a fact, just a perspective. Let patience guide your response, and you'll find yourself navigating conversations and life with greater clarity and grace. Now, let's turn our attention to how patience can anchor us in the present moment, especially when our minds are tempted to wander into future uncertainties. The Stoic quote, "The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable," speaks directly to the human tendency to fixate on what's to come. It's natural to worry about what lies ahead, whether it's a job interview, a relationship, or even a global event. But the Stoics remind us that constantly fretting over the future only robs us of the peace and clarity we can find in the here and now. Patience in this context becomes a tool to ground ourselves. When we practice patience, we train our minds to focus on what's within our control at this very moment. For example, if you're feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation, patience allows you to shift your energy toward preparing thoroughly rather than obsessing over potential outcomes. It's about taking one step at a time, trusting that each small effort contributes to the bigger picture. The Stoics also teach us that the future is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan or worry, we can't control every outcome. What we can control is how we respond to the present moment. Patience helps us embrace this truth, freeing us from the weight of endless what-ifs. Think about how often future worries distract us from enjoying the simple joys of life, a conversation with a friend, a walk in nature, or even a quiet moment of reflection. By practicing patience, we can return to these moments fully, appreciating them for what they are. This doesn't mean ignoring the future entirely. Planning and preparation are important. But patience ensures that these actions come from a place of calm intention rather than frantic anxiety. It's the difference between being driven by fear and being guided by purpose. The Stoic approach to patience invites us to live more fully in the present, knowing that the future will unfold in its own time. So, the next time you catch yourself spiraling into future worries, pause. Take a deep breath and remind yourself to focus on what's in front of you. Let patience be your compass, guiding you back to the peace and clarity of the present moment. Patience is often mistaken for passivity, but the Stoics saw it as a mark of wisdom. The quote, "You must become an old man in your youth," captures this beautifully. It's not about rushing through life or chasing immediate gratification. Instead, it's about cultivating the mindset of someone who's lived long enough to know that hasty decisions rarely lead to lasting fulfillment. Think of it this way: youth is often associated with energy and ambition, but it can also be marked by impulsiveness and impatience. The Stoics encourage us to balance these traits with the kind of patience and foresight that typically comes with age. Imagine you're faced with a major life decision, changing careers, ending a relationship, or making a big purchase. It's tempting to act quickly, driven by emotions or societal pressures. But this quote reminds us to pause, reflect, and consider the long-term consequences. Patience here means taking the time to gather wisdom, seek advice, and weigh your options carefully. It's about acting with intention rather than reacting out of impulse. For example, let's say you're offered a new job that seems exciting but comes with risks. Instead of jumping at the opportunity, you might take the time to evaluate how it aligns with your values, goals, and overall well-being. This kind of patient deliberation doesn't mean you're indecisive, it means you're thoughtful. The Stoics believed that true wisdom lies in understanding the value of time and experience. By practicing patience, you're not just waiting for things to happen, you're actively building a foundation for a more meaningful and fulfilling life. So, when you feel the pull of impulsivity, remember this quote. Ask yourself, what would the wiser, older version of me do? Let patience guide you toward decisions that align with your long-term vision, not just your immediate desires. In doing so, you'll find that patience isn't about slowing down, it's about moving forward with purpose. Let's explore some practical ways to cultivate patience in your daily life, inspired by Stoic wisdom. One powerful tool is journaling. Taking a few moments each day to write down your thoughts, challenges, and reflections can help you process emotions and gain clarity. When you face a frustrating situation, try writing about it from a Stoic perspective. Ask yourself, what's within my control? How can I respond with calm and patience? This practice helps you step back from immediate reactions and approach life with more intention. Another effective method is meditation. Stoics value the practice of focusing the mind and finding stillness. Even just 5 minutes of mindful breathing each day can help you build the mental discipline needed to stay patient in difficult moments. When you meditate, you train your mind to observe thoughts without being carried away by them, which is essential for cultivating patience. Reframing challenges is another key Stoic strategy. Instead of viewing obstacles as setbacks, see them as opportunities to practice patience and resilience. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, rather than getting frustrated, use the time to reflect or listen to something meaningful. By shifting your perspective, you transform a potentially stressful situation into a moment of growth. Finally, set small, daily goals to practice patience. Whether it's waiting in line without irritation or resisting the urge to interrupt someone, these small acts build your patience muscle over time. Remember, patience is a skill that grows with consistent effort. By incorporating these Stoic-inspired practices into your routine, you'll find yourself navigating life's challenges with greater calm and purpose. Now, let's take a look at how patience, rooted in Stoic principles, plays out in real life today. Consider the story of an entrepreneur facing repeated setbacks while building a startup. Instead of giving in to frustration, they embraced the Stoic idea of focusing on what they could control: their effort, attitude, and perseverance. By patiently refining their product and staying committed to their vision, they eventually achieved success, proving that patience is often the bridge between failure and triumph. Another example is a teacher navigating the challenges of remote learning during a global crisis. Rather than becoming overwhelmed by the chaos, they practiced patience by breaking down tasks, adapting to new tools, and maintaining a calm presence for their students. This approach not only improved their own experience, but also created a more positive environment for learning. In the medical field, a surgeon facing a complex procedure relied on patience to remain focused and composed under pressure. By staying present and methodical, they ensured the best possible outcome for their patient. These stories show that patience, when guided by Stoic principles, isn't just about waiting. It's about acting with intention and resilience in the face of challenges. Whether in business, education, or healthcare, patience transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and success. Now, let's turn our attention to some of the most common challenges people face when trying to cultivate patience, and how Stoic philosophy offers practical solutions to overcome them. One of the biggest hurdles is dealing with frustration, especially when things don't go as planned. Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from what's outside our control to what's within our power. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic, instead of letting anger take over, remind yourself that you can't control the road conditions, but you can control how you react. Take a moment to breathe, listen to something uplifting, or even use the time to reflect on your day. Another frequent obstacle is impatience, often fueled by the desire for immediate results. Stoics encourage us to embrace the process rather than fixate on the outcome. Imagine you're learning a new skill or working toward a long-term goal. Instead of becoming discouraged by slow progress, focus on the small, consistent steps you can take each day. As Seneca once said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. By valuing the journey, you'll find it easier to stay patient and committed. External pressures like societal expectations or comparisons with others can also test our patience. The Stoic solution here is to detach from external judgments and align with your own values. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me, and let that guide your actions rather than rushing to meet others' timelines. Lastly, uncertainty can make it hard to remain patient. Stoicism reminds us that life is inherently unpredictable, and the key is to focus on the present moment. By practicing mindfulness and gratitude, you can anchor yourself in the here and now, reducing anxiety about the future. These Stoic strategies don't just help us overcome impatience, they empower us to live more intentionally and peacefully, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. As we wrap up our journey through these 25 Stoic quotes on patience, it's clear that the wisdom of Stoicism offers a timeless guide to navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. From accepting what we cannot control to finding strength in adversity, each quote reminds us that patience is not just a virtue but a powerful tool for inner peace and growth. By embracing these principles, we can transform frustration into opportunity, uncertainty into mindfulness, and external pressures into alignment with our true values. The Stoics teach us that patience is not passive waiting, it's an active practice of self-mastery and perspective. So, as you move forward, I encourage you to take these lessons to heart. Start small, perhaps by pausing to reflect when faced with a challenge or by focusing on the present moment when impatience arises. Remember, practice makes progress. If you found value in these insights, share your thoughts in the comments below. How has patience shaped your life? And if you're eager to dive deeper into Stoic wisdom, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. Together, let's cultivate patience, resilience, and a life of greater purpose. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.